and the T-men have been decided by 6 or fewer points and 3 in overtime. Heart be still. Drew Bledsoe still nursing his sore knee, so Scott Seakules again got the start. The Pats' first possession, Seakules brings him down to the Colts' 18-yard line, but then Sam Gash fumbles, and the Colts recover, TJ.
Yeah, Skip McClendon here, number 95, with a great job of coming up off the ground, getting good penetration, and getting a hand in to knock the ball out for the fumble.
I know we normally don't show field goals, but we have to. We have nothing to show you in this game. A 27-yarder by Dean Biasucci. 3-0 Colton. Paul Butcher is a big Biasucci fan. Tied at 3 in the third. Seakules unable to get his team in the end zone, and he is picked off by John Baylor, TJ.
Yeah, and as you watch here on the replay, watch at the top of the screen, Sam Gash coming out of the backfield. He's open right there. Seakules doesn't see him, tries to force the ball, and gets it intercepted.
And Bill Parcells, oh, darn. He wasn't happy with this either. Scott Sisson misses a 45-yarder that would have broken a 3-all tie, and Parcells is not used to this at all. Jeff George, second start, bringing the Colts downfield. Rookie Sean Dawkins with a good day. Here he outleaps 2 defenders to make the catch, TJ.
Yeah, and a great job by Sean Dawkins of concentrating, getting the ball in, and getting his feet down in bounds.
Great job. 4 catches for 86 yards for Sean Dawkins. Pats losing 6-3 in the fourth. Seakules, he threw for 279 yards today, and he got a big pickup here late in the game, finding Ben Coates, and the play goes for 47 yards, and that led to this Sisson field goal, a 26-yarder that ties it at 6-all, but with 2:42 remaining, Biasucci hits a 37-yard game winner, 9-6 the final, and Parcells' Pats have lost 4 of 7 by 3 points or less. 9-6 is the final. The last 2 meetings between these two has produced not one single touchdown. The last 11 scores against each other, nothing but field goals. Jeff George, 18 of 26 for 200 yards. The Colts snap a 3-game losing streak, improved to 3-4. The P-men have not scored a touchdown, Boomer, in the last 2 games.
Robin, I can feel a touchdown coming in that rematch.
It's got to be
It
later.
got one. I'm not going to say who's going to say it scored. I feel one. Well, I'll tell you what, that's a great matchup, the Patriots and the Colts.
Yeah.
Well, here's one that is. I mean, you talk about history of the NFL. Here it is. Packers, Bears. They've met more often than any 2 teams in the NFL. 146 times. Today, they renewed acquaintances on the almost frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. And here we go. The Pack, Brett Favre, has had 2 big games, leading the Pack back to a 3-3 record. But early on, it's the Bears' defense that's big. Mark Carrier makes the pick, and it makes a nifty return down to the Green Bay 17-yard line. The Bears have really had their way up at Lambeau in recent years. Bears would try a field goal, but the Butler couldn't do it. Chris Gardocki decides to, look at the play he makes, almost completes it to Trace Armstrong. It's that Gardocki-Armstrong combination that the Bears ought to think about in future weeks. Mike Holmgren knows they dodged a bullet, and Jim Harbaugh could not dodge this bullet. He's number 95, Bryce Pop.
And a great job of Bryce Pop coming from the top of the screen, turning the corner, using the outside speed rush, and then just having the tenacity to get downfield, get after the quarterback, and make the sack on Harbaugh.
Tony Bennett just in this week, played on nickel situations. It's not Bennett, though. It's number 50, Johnny Holland, that gets the sack 3-0 Pack after the first quarter. Second quarter, Brett Favre starts to find Sterling Sharp again. That's a 3rd down completion for a 1st down. Same drive. Favre. Sharp. Zips for 21 yards. That looks sweet. 10-0. Back. Second quarter. The Bears figure, well, let's try and ram it down their throats. Well, who better to do it than Ironhead? Ironhead Hayward with a big run. Packers bouncing left and right. But look at Reggie White just power his way to sit on Harbaugh on the 2nd and goal.
Yeah, here on the replay, we watch Reggie White as he spot shadowed inside where he doesn't normally line up, and look at the effect that it has on the offensive line.
The Packers have done a great job. First 6 games, they've held their opponents inside the red zone to only 4 touchdowns. The Bears only get a field goal on that drive. It's 10-3 at the half. Second half, Leroy Butler makes the stick and makes the recovery. Great play by the Packers DB, and Dave wants that. Says, you know, we should go with that Gardocki-Armstrong combination. It's 10-3 in the fourth. George Kuntz makes Harbaugh pay for it, forcing the Bears to punt.
And this is the definition of a coverage sack. Harbaugh takes a look downfield, takes the pump, doesn't have the room to throw the ball downfield, gets sacked.
Well, Jim Harbaugh, that picture certainly tells a story. Late in the fourth, under 2 minutes to go. It's still just 10-3. The ball is tipped, and oh, boy, Favre to Sharp. They get lucky. Last 4 games against the Bears, Sharp has caught almost 400 yards worth. Same drive, Darrell Thompson seals it. 21-yard run. A nice cut down the sidelines for breathing room. And the Pack have won 3 in a row. The last 3 games, Sharp has caught 10, 10, and 7 today for 75. Pack beat the Bears 17-3. Reggie White with the 3 sacks passes LT, the all-time sack leadership. In the Bears, Tommy, just 112 points in their 7 games. And Green Bay, although this wasn't a great performance, they're starting to come on. In Chicago, they got some growing to do.
Well, Green Bay's starting to be the team that a lot of people thought they would at the beginning of the season. For the Bears,
home game today, but Jets and Giants both in their own locker room. They don't meet very often. As a matter of fact, they only have met 6 times in the regular season until today. The last time they met was 1988. And that game, the last game of the season, the Jets knocked the Giants from the playoffs. Going into today, the Giants were 5-1. Could the Jets knock them from their lofty perch again? Well, you know what the Jets story has been. Blowing leads, and you know the Dan Reeves story with the Giants has been ball control, doing everything perfectly, so who cares that Hampton's out? Louis Tillman's been great. He fights for 6. The big fullback, Gerard Bunch, rumbles for 7. And the change of pace back, Dave Meggett.
and look at that little Meggett run.
9-yard pickup in the opening drive of the game. Second and goal from the 1. But Tillman to get out on the ball. Scott Mercer recovers from the Jets who dodge a bullet.
Yeah, Tillman, as he tries to take the handoff here from Sims, never gets control of the football, and Ronnie Lott makes sure he doesn't get a chance to get it back.
Yeah, he was all over today, wasn't he, Tom? Tillman's adventures continue in the second quarter. He appears at the fumble, and the Jets appear to recover, but the refs say he was down.
And the Giants may have gotten a break here. Very close call, but you can see right there the ball is out. Looks like Tillman's knees weren't on the ground yet.
Well, Tillman said, thanks for the gift. Now let me run with the thing. He goes off his own right tackle. He rumbles for 26 yards inside the 20. Giants get down to the 1. Could they score this time? The pitch to Tillman. It's a touchdown, but shades of the 70s for Giant fans. There's a flag on the play. Holding. They have to settle for a field goal. So 20 minutes in the first half possession, but they only get 6 points, and that always haunts you, like LT does to everybody he plays. He's in the stands. He's everywhere. Boomer Esiason almost picked off by Greg Jackson. Keith Hamilton, what a find he's been for the G-men. A 3-yard loss. Terry Blanchard, no, they don't even try the field goal because it would have been blocked. Louis Aguiar can't quite pick up the first down. He's nailed by Jackson. It's 6-3, the Giants at the half, but that's right where the Jets want to be, behind at the half. In the third quarter, Bruce Coslett, Boomer Esiason try a different attack. Esiason up top to Chris Burkett for 14. Esiason, yeah, he can still move after these years. Out-racing LT for 13 yards, Tom.
And I think this is definite proof that LT's hamstring is bothering him slightly. I don't remember the day when Esiason can outrun Lawrence Taylor.
No, neither does Boomer. Jets facing a 4th-and-1 decision time for the Cause. A bunker mentality? No, they give it to Brad Braxter. But he's nailed by Carlton Bailey. Bring the chain gang out, and it's just enough for a first down.
Yeah, and you can see Carlton Bailey here did everything he could to prevent him from getting the first down. Came up just a little bit short.
And the drive continued. Brad Baxter rustles in from the 2. The first rushing touchdown allowed by the Giants this year. And the Jets have the lead 10-6. But, the Jets have the lead. Did I say the lead? Yes, they do. Sims. Picked off by Ronnie Lott. These guys have had a history, although a lot of respect between the two of them. And Lott picked Sims off there. One last drive, 2 minutes to go for the Giants, still trailing 10-6. Sims to Easy Ed McCaffrey for 17 yards. Sims to the guy that makes the tough catches, Mark Jackson, for 21 yards inside the 10. On third down, number 97, Marvin Washington with a big pressure. So, here it is, 4th down. The pass to the end zone, a tip. Ronnie Lott tip. Oh, my goodness. The Jets, it was set up for them to fumble the lead, but they don't do it. The Jets defense stiffens, holds the Giants to just 2 field goals. Jets, Jets. They win at the Meadowlands 10-6 in a game that was, neither team had 270 yards in offense, and the Jets come out a winner. And Tommy, You know, looking at this game, obviously the Giants finally made a couple of miscues, but the Jets, you said on game day, you believe what they do, that you thought they were still a pretty good team, and at least defensively they were today.
Well, and I think because of the leadership that they get from their veterans, something that's been a question mark, at least for a lot of people over the course of the last couple of weeks. Ronnie Lott, Boomer Esiason. Ronnie Lott comes up with a big INT. Boomer Esiason doing just enough to get his team in the end zone. But again, as we watched the game today, we saw lost opportunities. The first drive of the game, 17 plays, 79 yards for the Giants. They don't get in. That's the difference in the ballgame.
Kind of a role reversal. The Giants don't do what, you know...
Unreeves-like.
Unreeves-like, and the Jets don't blow a lead. So the Giants fall to 5-2. The Jets up to 3-4. You saw that pick by Ronnie Lott? Well, where does that put him historically? It's a day for history, as we'll show you. But in the INT category, Ronnie Lott now has 62. That puts him tied for 5th place. Paul Krause, the Vikings safety, 81. Emlyn Tunnell, the former Giant, with 79. Dick Night Train Lane, so ahead of his time, with 68. Kenny Riley with the Bengals, 65. Then Ronnie Lott, Dave Brown, Dick LeBeau at 62. Ronnie Lott moving up the ladder. The Papa Bear atop the all-time win list in the NFL. Good Don Shula, win number 324. Well, he knows what his task is to stop the Chiefs. Harvey Williams is nailed by J.B. Brown, and Brian Cox, Mixer omnipresent today, recovers. In only his second start, Scott Mitchell goes for the jugular. He shows that at 6'6", he can move, hits Irving Fryer, and then with the block by Kirby, slices his way into the end zone. They missed the kick, but it's 6-0 Miami.
Yeah, two things to watch here. Watch Irving Fryer set up the block, and watch Terry Kirby clear Charles Mincy right off the field.
2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Mitchell this time shows touch. The floater for Fryer. Is he inbound? The refs say, yeah, they call it a completion. Then early second quarter on the same drive. Mitchell to Keith fires in the flat. He can move into the end zone. It's 8 yards. Boom! Touchdown. 13-0 Shula's Dolphins. On the ensuing kickoff, Ron Dickerson fumbles, tries to pick it up, and he is pinned for almost, not quite, almost the safety. Marty Schottenheimer says, guys, this way. 5 minutes left in the half. Here's what Joe Montana does. Spots the open receiver, J.J. Burden, 20 yards. Career completion number 3,000, joins only Fran Tarkenton, Hall of Famer Dan Fouts, and Dan Marino as the other three to complete 3,000 passes. But 3 plays later, the worst sight. Joe, hamstring on the play to Keith Cash. But Montana aggravates the hamstring, and again, Tommy doesn't really look like he got hit.
You know, Chris, often we talk about how easily you can aggravate the hamstring. Here, Montana clears the pocket. Doesn't look like he does much, but we saw him glance to the sideline. He knew right away he had done damage.
And that means Dave Craig in. Right away, the handoff to Harvey Williams. Oh, he is nailed! Jarvis Williams recovers it, but Harvey Williams, hushed crowd for 15, 20 minutes. Looks like he was hurt on the play. We do have good news on it.
Yeah, Williams takes a shot here from Brian Cox. You couldn't see exactly what happened at the time, but it looked fairly serious.
He sustained a concussion. We'll talk to you about it at the end of the highlights, but the news is good, certainly better than it looked. 13-3 Miami early in the third quarter. Scott Mitchell to Mark Ingram. One good move, passed out Terry, and he's gone. 77 yards, and the Dolphins are opening up a big lead. They lead for Shula 20-3. For the Chiefs, trying to draw Miami off sides on a 4th down play. Their own guy moves. Ricky Sigler, what are you doing? Then Marcus Allen got caught in the oops, not me today phrase. He fumbles. Grunhart falls on it. No, he doesn't get it. Brian Cox, omnipresent as we said, falls on it. Scott Mitchell makes them pay. Back to pass to Byers. Looks like a simple play. Oh, with a great block again, 13 yards.
Yeah, Mark Ingram here launching himself at Lonnie K. March. And when you're as small as Ingram, you have to leave the ground to have an effect.
Look at Scott Mitchell, 22 of 33 for 344, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Icing on the cake, the rookie Terry Kirby, touchdown. 27-3, we salute Don Shula. And how many players would try this? Oh, it's cold, even in Miami. It's Brian Cox. Look at what Shoes does. He knows who did it, too. It has to be Brian. And congratulations all around. In 31 years, Don Shula has won 324 games, keeps on ticking. The Dolphins over the Chiefs, 30-10. So the Dolphins up to 6-1. pending Monday night a half-game lead on the Bills in the AFC East. For Shula, he's now tied the Papa Bear with 324 wins. He goes for the record breaker next week at the Jets. And, of course, Landry, Lambeau, Knoll don't think they're going to be catching Shula in the near future. Afterwards, Don Shula all smiles.
Success, though, at Sun Devil Stadium. Wade Wilson wanted to redeem himself at the helm. He hits Eric Martin on the Saints' first drive. Martin gets free. It's his 97th consecutive game with at least one catch. And the Saints would get Brad Muster into it. Wilson finds Muster on 3rd and 8 down to the 1-yard line. And next play, Mr. Muster gets the honors, his first touchdown of the year, 7-0 Saints. The Cards trailing 7-3. They turn to cornerback Aeneas Williams for some offense. Wilson hits Quinn early, but he's stripped by Robert Massey. Williams picks it up and goes the other way, 21 yards for the score, 10-7 Cards. Still 10-7 in the second. Williams does it again. He steps in front of Early and picks off the pass, and watch this, TJ. A tremendous 45-yard return, 17-7 Cards. How do you set that up?
Well, we take a look here from overhead. You watch Williams as the defense is being read. He's just reading Wilson's eyes, and look at him throw right into triple coverage.
You know, Williams outscored 7 teams today. The Bears, Colts, Patriots, Chiefs, Jets, Giants, and Eagles, all by himself. Not bad. Cards up 17-10 in the fourth. Wade Wilson picks up the Saints. Quinn Early, a busy man, 25-yard strike. It's a 17 all tie. Steve Berline on the sideline with an injured foot, not believed to be too serious, so in comes Chris Chandler in the fourth. And Chandler goes back, and he gets picked off by, out of nowhere comes free safety Gene Atkins, and he returns it to the Cards' 24-yard line. Then 4 plays later, Morton Anderson has never missed a field goal against the Cards, and he's not about to begin now. He's 13 for 13, a 38-yarder with 7:34 left. The Saints pull it out. The 2-game losing streak, see ya. 2017 is the final, and more just a little bit happier. 2017 is the final. Ricky Prohl, a 5-game streak, scoring a touchdown. Well, that comes to an end. The Saints with their 5th straight non-strike win over the Cardinals, Cooper.
Well, they were almost calling for Wade Wilson to be benched and bring Tommy Kramer in, Rob.
Almost, but he really redeemed
Almost.
himself.
He redeemed himself late, and a big win for the New Orleans Saints
that.
on the road. Well, I'll tell you, by the time the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles hit the field, they already knew that the front runners in the NFC East, the Giants, had lost. So it was of mild interest to them, this game between the 2 second-place teams at 4-2. They knew that the winner would go into a first-place tie in the NFC East. So here we go from miserable conditions at the vet. Looks like a World Series game. Cowboys go to the running game, but they have to. They're out of their own end zone. Who else to give it to but Emmitt Smith, who was smashed. Emmitt then up the middle. Look at the big hole up the middle. And look at him dart between the secondary, and he's finally hauled down by Eric Allen, the last man that could have gotten him. Jay Novacek, a reception, but a fumble. But Novacek falls on the ball. Tom, how?
Well, you see Novacek here get hit. The ball is popped out right there. It's behind him. He doesn't see it. Does a great job, though, of being alert, staying after it, and finally coming up with a fumble recovery.
Cowboys get a field goal, 3-0. Kenny O'Brien, the third quarterback to start this year for the Eagles, is dumped on a blitz, a fumble. Russell Maryland recovers. So, Emmitt in business, up the middle for 9. Dallas keeping it on the ground in the rainy conditions. Michael Irvin only caught 3 today, and Aikman threw for less than 100 yards. But look at Novacek. Oh, you know the Eagles were going to come out physical, and the Cowboys sell Emmitt left. They go right to the reverse. It's Kevin Williams. It's a touchdown. 10 yards.
And you said it, Chris, when you get Emmitt Smith running the ball the way he is, you can trick the entire defense on the reverse.
Well, speed they have. Kenny O'Brien, though, to James Lofton. You talk about guys who weren't on the roster a month ago. Here they are. Little shovel pass, the Dan Reeves Denver special to Heath Bar Sherman inside the 30. Mark Bavaro seals the corner for Heath Sherman. Another big gain. The Eagles gaining confidence. They stayed in the game. O'Brien lost it in the left flat to Herschel. He beats Ken Norton. It's a touchdown, and Cotice Eagles will pull to within 10-7. 13-7, Jimmy Johnson's Cowboys lead, 13 minutes to go. The Eagles have already used a couple of timeouts. 3rd and 2, O'Brien uses the last timeout. So, we hope it's worth it. Play action. The short ball, James Joseph, the pass is low, and it's a field goal, 13-10.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate because the Cowboys definitely bid on the run fake. You had the flat wide open. Just a bad throw by O'Brien.
Well, then Eddie Eat, Drink, and B. Murray Well, it is doink. It's off the crossbar, and then he had 3 field goals. Coach tied. Oh, you got to be kidding me. I told him to raise that thing. Hit 16-10 Cowboys. 4 minutes to go. The Eagles still in the game until Emmett. Watch it. Forget about it. He could go all the way. 62 yards. 237 yards for Emmitt Smith on a day that even the postman didn't want to deliver the mail. It's a new Cowboy record, the old 206 by Dorsett. Emmitt's 237 yards tied for the 6th best ever in the NFL. Calls Walter 275, but 6th best ever in the NFL. Dallas beats Eagles 23-10. They have won 5 in a row. The Eagles have lost 3 in a row. Rams parking lot, I do. T.J. Rubley said, I do, and Chuck Knox asked him if he wanted to get his first NFL start, but a pass deflected, picked off by John Johnson. Setting up the second quarter, Steve Young, plenty of time. John Taylor, tip, the tip drill. First touchdown of the season to JT, 13-3 Niners, Tom.
Yeah, what a great play by John Taylor, because this is a 14-point turnaround. You're looking at a 90-yard interception. No, you're looking at a 49er touchdown.
Second quarter, John Johnson, 55 on the blitz. He was all over. Rubley is hit. It's a fumble, and Johnson recovers and almost goes in. First and goal. The Jerry Rice. You want to see this play? Look, is he over? Oh, he did this in the Super Bowl, Tom.
Yeah, what Jerry Rice does right here, they called him out of bounds before he does it, but look at him. Oh. He has the ability to put the ball across the plane.
Well, the next play, Mark Logan powered it in, and the Niners are up big 20-3. Jim Everett sitting for the first time after 87 starts, dating back to 87 when Steve Love, the one you're with, Dills, got the last start for the Rams. 22-3 in the third quarter, and Rubley the pass to Todd Heat in the Kinchin. And it's 23-10 now. The Rams have pulled to within 13. There's Rubley's numbers on the day. But in the end, it was Steve Young. Jerry Rice, catch. It's a fumble, and naturally he recovers his own fumble. Setting up 4th and goal. I know Rathman's a big part of their offense. Mark Logan certainly has done a good job filling in at fullback. It's 30-10. Then Rubley Tuesday is picked off by Michael Magruder, and he goes 32 yards for the touch. For Steve Young, 245 yards. For T.J. Rubley, there'll be better days. He was sacked 7 times. And the 49ers over the Rams 40-17. And this note on the 49ers, they've got they've got 8 games to go. Only 3 of them are against teams with losing records. So we're not handing them wins in all these games, but we are trying to say, Tom, is that, you know, they now have a schedule break, and they may at 5-3. I mean, they are on track to go 12-4, 11-5, even though you would say early on, this isn't a normal 49er team. As far as Emmett and the Cowboys, not bad.
Well, I think anytime you...
Mile high, but Meyer has been tough, and hoping things could change against John Elway and company, who's only 59-16 in Denver. Meyer to John L. Williams early on incomplete, but there's a flag, a personal foul on Lilo Lang, and Wade Phillips is not very happy, Tom.
Certainly, you check out the replay there. Williams misses the ball, but the question is, did Lilo Lang know it was incomplete?
Well, a big break for Seattle, and give him credit on 3rd and 6. John L. touchdown on the Seahawks. A surprising 7-0 early lead. But the Broncos rallied at Tyrant. Look at Elway. And Dwayne Harper is called for pass interference against Derek Russell. Puts the Broncos at 2nd and goal. And Elway hands to Robert Del Pino. Look at the effort. Yes, he breaks the play, and it's 14. Boom. 7 Denver. But they call a taunting penalty on the spike. Remember the play. Elway gives instruction to tight end Shannon Sharp. He finds him. First it's Del Pino for 13, and then on the blitz, Shannon Sharp, the post pattern. Elway, you give him the ball under 2 minutes to go, he's going to kill you.
Yeah, you see Elway here read the blitz, stand in, and take the shot in order to deliver the ball to Sharp. Saw the whole Elway package.
Tom Flores knows that his club has not done well at Mile High as of late. Well, nobody does except the Raiders. And the Broncos lead at 21-10. Del Pino over the touchdown, over the middle for a touchdown, and he gives it. Well, he didn't get a taunting penalty. Remember, that was the early one. Then he gives it to Shannon Sharp to taunt. Denver goes on to beat Seattle by a count of 28-17. John Elway, 255. Meyer threw for 201 today, and the Broncos get above the 500 mark as they're now 4-3 in Seattle. A much improved Seattle team is at 4-4. But Denver at Mile High, the last couple of games, they came out horribly against Green Bay, came out horribly against the Raiders, and even after the slow start today against Meyer and company, you get a feeling that Denver sooner or later had to get revved up.
Well, and Chris, I think both of those games, you mentioned the Packers and the Raiders, the problem that they have, especially offensively, and the thing that they wanted to focus on was John Elway getting some blocking from that offensive line, getting some protection so he had time to throw the ball. And that, rather maybe than the circumstances of playing in Mile High, is what got him a victory today.
All right, that division is certainly very interesting because when we come back, we're going to show you the Chargers and the Raiders, another topsy-turvy game. But first, our honor roll as we go to 300-yard passes and 100-yard receivers. We lied. We're not going to that. Should know today to start coming back against the Raider team that has as two of its receivers a rocket and a jet. What would happen in the mausoleum? Jeff Hostetler knows he's got a rocket, a jet, and a Brown. Tim Brown. Air it out. They said the Hawks couldn't throw like this. They didn't know. 71 yards, 7-0 Raiders, and Al Davis fired up. Great battle early on between two Pro Bowlers. Terry McDaniel, corner, one of the best in the business, and wide receiver Anthony Miller of the Chargers. He, too, one of the best in the business. Look at the coverage. But later on in the first half, it's Miller that gets the step on McDaniel. Perfect pass from John Freeze from
Idaho.
It's 7-all.
Yeah, you watch Miller here as he runs the deep slant to the right corner, starts at the top of your screen, and this is just a sprint. And you, as the receiver, hope that McDaniel doesn't get safety help. The safety help was late coming over.
10-10 at the half. In the third quarter, Hostetler to Ethan Horton. Beautiful catch with the good coverage. Ethan heard a who. Then the Haas goes to Tim Brown. Zip on the cross pattern, and Brown does the rest. Look at him get jet out in front of him. It's a touchdown, 38 yards, 17-10. Raiders. Brown, 5 catches for $156, and you saw the 2 touches. Still in the third with the score 17-10 Raiders. John Freeze, finally healthy. Remember, he started, got the concussion a couple games ago, then off the bye week. They hope this will get him healthy. This will get him healthy. A reverse to Sean Jefferson, 25 yards. On the replay, the cameraman takes the big hit. Is that where they threw the flag on him? Hope he's all right. That sets up Marion Watts. 12 yards, touchdown, 17-all. Still in the third quarter, Hostetler tries to bring the Raiders back. He hooks up with James Jett. 55 yards down to the 4. The Hoss is fired up on 2nd and goal. He looks for Tim Brown, 3 touchdowns. No! Instead, it's Donald Frank. He could go all the way. 102 yards. What a turnaround. Gliding. The Lightning Bolts lead 24-17. Voss for 424, but the 102-yard pick.
Yeah, and as you watch the replay here, this is Donald Frank anticipating and reading the quarterback's eyes, reading right through Hostetler, and he is off to the races.
The Raiders finally allowed the third quarter touchdown. They'd only allowed 6 going into the game, 6 points. Haas dumps to Greg Robinson with the score 27-17 Chargers. And Robinson rumbles for 55 yards. What a play, what a game of big plays between two teams with pretty good defenses. Did I say defense? Yeah. Leslie O'Neal tracks down the Haas. They have to settle for a field goal, pulled them within 7, but that was it. The Haas woozied at the end. It was a great performance by him, but the Chargers scoring 30 points for the first time since last year's season finale. The most they had scored this year was 18, and so the Raiders fall to 4-3. The Chargers up to 3-4 in the AFC's wild, wild west. Now, if at first you don't succeed, we try again. 300-yard passes, the Haas at 424, Scott Mitchell 344, Craig Erickson with 318. 100-yard receivers, Tim Brown, you just saw his performance. Bad Moon caught 11 for 147. Ben Winter Coates had a big game for the Pats in a losing effort. When we return, we'll tell you that Horace Copeland had 104 yards, and we will dole out our game balls. And I'll tell you, If it's a costume party on Halloween, this guy looks like the one in Civvies, doesn't he? Game balls in a moment. Player returns a fumble for a touchdown, and later in the same half, the Cards' Aeneas Williams returned a pick on a great run for a touchdown. I tell you what, 2 touchdowns from a defensive player, Aeneas Williams. It's an easy give from me to you, and I appreciate the pal. Rob? There he is. It's all in the first half.
Talk about another easy give. You knew this man was going to get a game ball. Scott Mitchell. Remember, this is only his second NFL start, stepping in for Dan the Man Marino, and he had 3 touchdown tosses. Look at that, 344 yards. You saw him on our honor roll. He's deserving of a game ball, TJ.
And, Robin, I'm going to stay on the defensive side of the ball. The Buccaneers middle linebacker, Hardy Nickerson, had a tremendously punishing day. There you see him clocking Eric Pegram on 4th and 1. There you see him getting in the backfield, dropping Pegram again. 10 total tackles on the day, 7 solos. He also picked off Bobby Hebert once.
You think we're done with football for the weekend here on ESPN? Au contraire. Our 90-minute prime Monday, the Washington Prime Time.